Hi, welcome to Syncast powered by Commercient. My name is Heath McKnight. My guest today is Joe Stephan from Concept. Joe, thanks for joining me and tell me a little bit about yourself and Concept.
Sure. Yeah. So as you mentioned, Joe Stephan, I am the director of CRM and technology at Concept. So currently I manage our CRM agency, our digital marketing agency, as well as our internal technology team. So from a high level, Concept offers three core services. We've been in business for about 20 years. And we started off primarily as a sales development firm. So the best way to describe that is we would essentially, through outbound calling, take care of the first half of the sales process for our customers. And we would qualify those leads and then send them over to our customer sales team to effectively close the business on those qualified leads. Well, several years ago, we decided to adopt CRM internally to best support those sales development efforts and those programs. It allowed us to not only showcase the ROI and value that we were providing with those particular projects for our customers, but it also gave those customers real-time visibility into the opportunities, the analytics, all the activities, everything that we were generating for them. But it also opened up another door for us. A lot of customers at the time weren't really using CRM internally. And they really liked the way that we developed our processes and we're using CRM to support these programs. So as they were accessing our databases, to get the visibility into the leads we were generating, we started to see some adoption there from organizations that we were working with. And they would come to us and say, hey, we really like how you've built out CRM. We'd like you to help us implement a CRM for internal purposes and use. So at the time, we weren't a CRM partner of any solution, but we went out and became a Salesforce partner at that time. And we started supporting customers to help them implement and consult on their CRM solutions. So that's really how our CRM agency started, which is the second core division that we currently have at Concept today. And then if we fast forward a few years, we also had a lot of customers who started coming to us saying, hey, we could really use your help managing some of our inbound lead efforts. Help us put together some marketing strategies, some content, some, website management and social media posts, things like that. So we decided to start a digital marketing agency within our organization. And it's been about 3 or 4 years now since we started that particular group. So today, Concept is kind of this full service sales and marketing consulting firm that supports the technology to best support those groups, essentially, whether it's CRM or marketing automation tools or sales enablement tools. So those are really the three core divisions that we have at the organization today.
I think it's incredible that it just naturally evolved into the digital marketing side. And in addition to Salesforce, I also know you support HubSpot and both marketing and the CRM. Could you tell me a little bit about how you came into the HubSpot side, especially since people look at HubSpot first as marketing and then the CRM side second?
HubSpot actually came into the picture when we started our digital marketing agency. It was from a marketer's perspective, it was really a tool that was easy for our team internally to use to best support our customers and for our customers to use as well. We looked at a variety of options at the time and determined what are some of the best solutions out there currently that we can use to help best support our customers from a digital marketing perspective. And we landed on HubSpot being one of the primary ones, and we do support some others as well. But at that time, we became a HubSpot partner, and it's really just exploded over the past couple of years. We started off at the baseline partnership, and since then, more recently, I would say actually within the last few weeks, became a diamond partner of HubSpot and are really supporting customers on the Marketing Hub platform, the Sales Hub platform, CMS, Operations Hub, and Service Hub today. So they have a full suite of products and services that can really help any core division within an organization achieve their goals, automate processes, and just have a centralized location to manage all of their information and data.
Excellent. And I know you shared about your role, but on a day-to-day basis, if you don't mind, maybe just kind of taking me through how you're helping these customers, especially if they're coming either with very limited CRM, like a built-in one from their ERP, or some of these CRMs that, frankly, we have customers at Commercient. They moved to a much more robust CRM. They were on a CRM that hadn't been supported. It was end of life like a decade ago, but they have it so sitting on a computer, a server, but they're so dependent on it. But or they're just pen and paper, spreadsheets, etc. How do you come in your team to help them out almost from like square one to get to where they need to be with the marketing and the CRM with HubSpot?
Yeah. So it's not always a quick process, right? There's typically a lot of change that needs to happen within an organization, but we do really start at the very beginning. From the first time we engage with a prospect or a customer, we sit back and we really try to go through as much discovery as possible to identify, how does your organization function? What are some of the pain points? Where are the gaps currently within those processes? What's involved in sales? What's involved in marketing? Are the two working in tandem? And oftentimes, as you mentioned, we work with organizations who have antiquated systems, antiquated processes, or no processes at all. So what we do throughout every stage of our onboarding with a new customer is we're going through that discovery. We're providing a consultative approach in terms of, how we would recommend not only developing this process with our knowledge of sales development, and as we, help manage and support that for some of our customers, we're really helping them develop these processes and then incorporate them into the platform. Oftentimes it does start with, the sales team. There are obviously a lot of variations to that, but we are starting, if we're starting from square one and they're currently putting everything on pen and paper or using Excel files, or they have their contacts currently being managed in Outlook, we need to start somewhere. So usually it does start with the sales team, and we're really helping them build out, what does that pipeline look like? What are some key metrics that you need to attain to? And, what does your reporting playbook need to look like? And what's this whole process? Where are leads coming from? Where do we hand these leads off from a marketing perspective to sales? Then we're also helping the marketing group also develop those processes and help them develop their strategies. And then the key piece is marrying up those two, right? Getting them working in tandem and allowing marketing to best support sales, and sales to also leverage marketing and help them, achieve leads for that particular group. So we do that through the use of, the different tools that we have available to us within the HubSpot suite, or even some additional applications that customers may use, some data procurement tools and sales enablement tools.
Yeah, that's incredible. And if you have like maybe 3 or 4 tips for getting a great HubSpot CRM and marketing hub implementation, what would you share with on the customer side of how they can have a successful implementation?
Yeah, so I would say some of the things that we come across, number one, I would say be open-minded about, what's currently being done within the organization today, and have some pretty clear defined goals of where you're trying to go. Oftentimes we get into projects with customers and they know that we have some issues, but they really don't know the best way to approach that. That's what we're here to help you kind of uncover and achieve. But having a baseline of an understanding of where do we want to go as an organization? What are some of those? What are some foresights and goals that we want to make sure we put in place, and how can we best attain those with adopting these platforms? I think that's I think that's really important. Also, when evaluating CRMs and digital marketing platforms, as you mentioned, I think a little bit earlier in the call, you have customers who are switching from one CRM to another. Oftentimes, and especially in my experience, going from one CRM to another is not really going to fix the core problems that you may have. Yes, this new platform may have a new bag of features and bells and whistles and tools that could really help, but I think you really have to address the root cause of the problem, whether it's an adoption issue, whether it's the system wasn't built out properly from the get-go. So taking a step back and making sure that as you're evaluating a CRM, you're kind of doing it for the right reasons, and you're making sure you're putting forth that proper evaluation from the get-go. I would always suggest working with a partner to help with the implementation. Even though a lot of the backend functionality and the tools that are available to you within HubSpot or Salesforce or any other CRM can be easy to figure out and how to implement, but there are oftentimes where partners are really going to understand the ins and outs of the application and be able to take your processes or what goals you're trying to achieve and best support them and best build them out within the platform to achieve a successful implementation. And then I think the last thing is, really ensuring that you have a defined process and for the sales group and for the marketing group, following the implementation, making sure you have that playbook outlined, detailed, ready to go, and it's communicated across the board with all individuals within the organization that it would be relevant to, so that you ensure successful adoption of the platform, you help increase productivity, efficiency, and ultimately sales for the organization.
Excellent, excellent. And if you don't mind, a little bit about helping with adoption. I know that in some cases that can really be a pain point for companies. But I've talked to companies and they said that when the sales team saw the tools that HubSpot CRM has to help them grow those sales, the adoption was tremendous for them, and they have almost 100% adoption on it. And if they don't, it's going to be there. Any suggestions on helping with adoption?
Yeah, we typically see high adoption with HubSpot specifically because the user interface is very streamlined and simple to use. I mean, HubSpot's put a lot of time into R&D to develop it for the everyday user, whether you're on the sales side or marketing side, right? The whole interface is very efficient and streamlined. What we do as a partner to help with adoption is every project that we incorporate for an organization, we ensure that we have a customized training solution built into the project. So we spend time and work with the project committee or the executive leadership group to ensure that they're trained on the processes. And then we also work with the sales team and sales leaders. And then we work with the marketing team and the marketing leaders. And then, so we go through this extensive training with the group. And then we always recommend having some follow-up trainings with the team. So we don't want to overwhelm and just sit down in a room for 8 hours going through an application, because we tend to start to lose people's attention spans and they forget what they learned there. So what we like to do is make sure that we focus on the processes that have been defined by the organization and through the implementation to ensure a successful rollout of the tool itself. Then we'd like to give team members several weeks to start to work in the application, determine what isn't working, where am I struggling, where do we have adoption issues, and then circle back to have additional training to make sure that everyone's comfortable with the processes that have been defined and outlined. If there are issues that need to be addressed, maybe something's a little bit clunky and we just don't like how the process is currently flowing, and that's preventing somebody from doing their day-to-day, we want to hear from the end users as well, so that we could take that back to the executive leadership team or a project committee, whomever we're working with, so that we can address those concerns, address those issues, resolve those components within the platform to ensure continued success of the application. So, I typically always recommend to our customers a 1-hour training with a sales group is just simply not enough. You need to have some continuous training with the team to ensure that adoption is remaining, and they're really leveraging the application to the best of their abilities.
Excellent, excellent. And I do definitely, before we wrap up our call, just want to ask a little bit about Commercient SYNC data integration and how important that is for the sales and the marketing team working within HubSpot, having access to that ERP data, be it QuickBooks Desktop, Sage 100, all the way up to like an Infor, SXE, or even an SAP.
Yep. I can tell you, almost with every project that we work through, after we get Sales Hub implemented or Marketing Hub implemented, it's an extremely, extremely common request from customers and a pain point for them to come to us and say, hey, we really need to get visibility into our financial data or ERP information. We want to centralize that information in one place. So that's what Commercient SYNC enables our customers to do. It really gives that 360-degree view of a customer, of an account, to know what's going on in other systems. And not only that, in many cases, you have sales team members who are responsible for entering some information in a CRM, HubSpot Sales Hub, let's say, and they have to follow that lead through the process to closure. And following that, post sales, when the actual order's taking place or invoicing needs to happen, they may be inputting account information and data over in their ERP instance as well. Well, that's really inefficient. You don't want to have to run duplicate data entry, and it's inefficient for sales teams and for users who are using both of those systems. So having that two-way sync of data really just streamlines the process for internal groups. Now, I can tell you, from a sales and account management perspective, knowing exactly how much business a customer has done, what they've purchased, it allows them to really tailor their conversations accordingly to help their customers with additional product lines and cross-sell opportunities. It also allows them to ensure that they're staying engaged and attentive to their customer needs with having ERP information coming directly into HubSpot and their CRM. From a marketing perspective, I could say it's important for them to leverage ERP and financial data to help, from a targeting and then a messaging perspective, right? They may identify customers who possibly have not used certain products or services for a certain period of time, and they may want to showcase, some promotions, or they may want to showcase some additional or new product offerings or service offerings that they have to try to get those customers re-engaged. So knowing exactly where a customer stands, what they've done in past sales, and actuals, I could say, that really helps both groups really tailor to their processes within both systems.
Excellent, excellent. And Joe, how can our viewers and listeners learn more about Concept?
Yeah, sure. You can go to conceptltd.com. We have several product and service pages up there where you could take a look at our CRM services, our digital marketing services, our sales development services. Periodically, we do put out blogs. So if you follow us on LinkedIn or on Twitter or even Facebook, we do post a lot of blogs and just relevant content for sales and marketing groups, whether it's how to best prospect and what's currently going on in the industry. And here are some tidbits on how to best leverage some of these tools that we personally leverage internally here at Concept as well. So if you go to our website, you should have links to all of our social media accounts on there, and you can certainly just look us up through any of those social platforms as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe, for your time today.
Thank you so much, Heath.
Thank you for watching and listening to Syncast powered by Commercient. If you'd like to learn more about Sync, ERP, and CRM data integration, please visit our website, commercient.com. Thank you.